Hello, everyone. My name is Danny. This review is for the movie called Swallow. This is a 2019 film. It is rated R, and it runs in about an hour and a half. And it stars Haley Bennett, Austin Stowell, and Denise O'Hare. I was trying to think about who that was, but it's Denise O'Hare. The description is about Hunter. She's a newly pregnant housewife. She finds herself increasingly compelled to consume dangerous objects. As her husband and his family tighten their control over her life, she must confront the dark secret behind her new obsession. This is Swallow. Well, hello everyone. Thank you for watching this video. This comes as a newer movie that some people might have heard of. Came to me as a suggestion off of something I watched, but I was able to watch it last night, so hope some of you are also. It's nice to watch some of the newer movies that were supposed to be coming out and around and everything. So, most of us know Haley Bennett. She's at least done a couple things, and I guess this is probably one of her first starring roles, which is fine. Can't say I cared for her that much. Can't say I cared for much of this movie, but we'll get there. Let's start out with just the plain concept about rich people in movies. Like the last kind of flops that we've had that are obvious are the 50 Shades movies. And I will probably reference them forever because the reason why the actors kind of bailed on those movies was because the writing was horrible, and so their acting became horrible, and the stories made no sense. And they're just basically rich people with rich people problems that we just did not care about. And if anybody went to see those movies, it's because of the, kind of the bondage stuff. And, maybe, mostly women or couples went to see the last one or the last two. So here's another example of another movie where normal people are not going to care about the problems going on here. It's not that interesting, unless you like soap operas or something, but we just don't normally care about rich people problems. And this is a rich people movie. This is our main character, Hunter, finding herself being drawn to this rich kid that's about to take over his parent, his family's company, and he treats her like garbage once they're married, and he turns into this tycoon, and she's left at home to kind of wallow in her, kind of her thoughts and problems and all this stuff. And really, it's his fault that all this starts in the first place. So then we get into the story of her being in her thoughts and in her head all day long that, just I'm going to start swallowing things. And, it's just an absurd movie. Like they address the problem of why has she never done this before? And why would it start in her mid 20s or whatever she is in this movie? And I think that's a legitimate question, and the movie asks it, which is kind of crazy because, that would be one of the few criticisms that people would have about this movie is why wouldn't our main character be doing this earlier in her life? And I wouldn't even address it in the movie if I was directing this darn thing. And then they have other issues like that also. Like, when she starts doing her thing and getting in trouble, like, people don't act like they should act. We have this great character that's kind of a housekeeper kind of guy, and his whole character is probably the best in the movie because he's more down to earth and he does normal things, but it's not his place to do those things. And then he, like, he's the only one that thinks to like call 911, do all this other stuff. But the family, like, they all have their quirks. And it's just really hard to watch and really hard to make it through because they're being so stupid, so stuck up, so, uprighteous, all this stuff. And then to top it off, the worst thing is at the end, the last thing that our husband of Hunter gets to do is have this conversation about how he misses her and he wants her to come home because they're trying to put her in an asylum, and he says he loves her, and then he calls her all these names and says that she better come back or he's going to hunt her down. That conversation is the last that we see of the husband in this movie, and it's ridiculous. That whole concept of, oh, I love you, oh, I miss you, oh, we're gonna, say this, and then he does what he does. That's just the top off of how stupid this movie is. And then there's more. Because obviously it's not enough just to have this stupid movie where she doesn't do anything of common sense and then she runs off and handles the situation for the rest of the movie. And I mean, I can't explain the ending because it's so stupid. And I can't tell you what it is, but I know people will watch this movie eventually. Eventually it'll be available to the masses, and people will watch this, and this video will get some airtime. So I don't want to give away what happens in this movie, but it is so stupid beyond common sense. There are so many different ways that this movie could have gone. It would have made a lot more sense. It would have been more entertaining for the viewer, and people can get help. It's okay. It doesn't matter if you're in an upright family, if you're the wife of a future tycoon guy. If you're having problems, get help. Like, she in this movie has to confirm to us the viewer that she is having problems, but she thinks she's getting better all the time. Like, we don't buy it for a second. So I just kind of feel sorry for Haley Bennett. I think this is one of her only leading roles, and this is a crap movie. Like, none of it makes sense. None of it makes us care about it. The acting is horrible. The lines are horrible. The interactions are horrible. One of the few good other parts is this therapist that Hunter has, and even she can't get to the bottom of everything. Like, once they start talking about something that matters, she ends the session. Like, you're just gonna let people do that? You're just gonna let them walk out knowing that they are going through something really crucial in your presence, and then she gets home and does things, big surprise. So the other part of this, just to warn you, I know hopefully people are watching this long, is that it's really hard to watch a movie about people shoving stuff down their throat. That is really, really hard to watch. So if you don't even have the stomach for this movie, don't watch it. And then if you don't have the patience for bad acting and bad writing and all this other stuff that doesn't make any sense, and the ending is complete crap, they don't wrap up the storyline at all, they don't make sense of anything, they don't finish anything, they don't do anything, and this movie is on my worst of the year list. It's a D. That's my final grade, my final answer. Thank you guys. My name's Danny. If you like this or any of my other videos, try and get some of them to watch. Like and subscribe to my channel if you would. And enjoy your movies, guys. Just try to stay away from Swallow, please. Thanks.